Today I'm going to read you the story Roalddal Matilda, Chapter 14, Part 1. Let's read it. Okay. The first miracle. What miracle? Let's read it. The first miracle. Matilda sat down again at her desk. The Trunchbull seated herself behind the teacher's table. It was the first time she had sat during the lesson. Then she reached out a hand and took hold of her water jug, still holding the jug by the handle, but not lifting it yet. She said, "I have never been able to understand why small children are so disgusting. They are the bane of my life. They are like insects. They should be got rid of as early as possible. We get rid of flies with fly spray and by hanging up fly paper. I have often thought of inventing a spray for getting rid of small children. How splendid it would be to walk into this classroom with a gigantic spray gun in my hands and start pumping it. Or better still, some huge strips of sticky paper. It would hang them all around the school and you'd all get stuck to them, and that would be the end of it. Would that be a good idea, Miss Honey?" "If it's meant to be a joke," Headmistress, "I don't think it's a very funny one," Miss Honey said from the back of the class. "You didn't, would you, Miss Honey?" the Trunchbull said, "and it's not meant to be a joke. My idea of a perfect school. Perfect school. Yes, perfect school, Miss Honey, is one that has no children in it at all. One of these days I shall start up a school like that. I think it will be very successful." The woman smiled. Miss Trunchbull was telling herself, "She's round the twist. She is the one ought to be get rid of." Yes, and the Trunchbull now lifted a large blue porcelain water jug and poured some water in her glass, and suddenly with the water out came the long slimy newt straight into the glass. Plop! The Trunchbull let out a yell and leaped off her chair as though a firecracker had gone off underneath her. And now the children also saw the long, thin, slimy, yellow-bellied, lizard-like creature twisting and turning in the glass, and they scored and jumped about as well, shouting, "What is it? Oh, it's disgusting! It's a snake! It's a baby crocodile! It's an alligator!" "Look out, Miss Trunchbull!" cried Lavender. I will bet it bites." The Trunchbull, this mighty female giant, stood there in her green breeches, quivering like a blessman. She was especially furious that some of had succeeded in making her jump, and yelled at like because she prided herself on her toughness. She stared at the creature twisting and twiggling in the class. Curiously enough, she had never seen a newt before. Natural history was not her strong point. She hadn't the faintest idea when displeasant. Slowly she sat down again in her chair. She looked at this moment more terrifying than ever before. The fires of fury and hatred were smoldering in her small black eyes. "Matilda!" she barked. "Stand up!" "Who, me?" said Matilda. "Who, me?" Matilda said. "What have I done?" "Stand up, you disgusting little cockroach!" "I haven't done anything, Miss Trunchbull. Honestly, I haven't. I've never seen that slimy thing before." "Stand up at once, you filthy little maggot!" Reluctantly, Matilda got to her feet. She was in the second row. Lavender was in the row before her, feeling a bit guilty. She hadn't intended to her friend into trouble. On the other hand, she was certainly not about to own up. "You're a vile, repulsive, repellent, malicious little brute," the Trunchbull was shouting. "You behind the bars, that's where you ought to be. I shall have you drummed out of this establishment in utter disgrace. I shall have the prefects chase you, hockey sticks. I shall have the staff. I shall have the staff dumped out of this establishment in the utter disgrace. I shall have the prefects chase you down the corridor and out of the front door with hockey sticks. I shall have the staff escort and you home under armed guard, and then I shall make absolutely sure you're sent to reformatory for diligent guards for the minimum of 40 years. The Trunchbull was in such a rage that her face had taken a bold color, and little flecks of froth were gathering at the corners of her mouth. But she was not the only one who was losing her cool. Matilda was also beginning to see red. She didn't in the least mind being accused of having done something she had actually done. She could see the justice of it. It be a cast of a crime that she definitely had not, with that beastly creature in the glass. By golly, she thought that the rotten Trunchbull isn't going to pin this one on me. I did not do it, she screamed. Oh, yes, you did, the Trunchbull roared back. Nobody else could have thought of a trick like that. Your father was right to warn me about you. The woman seemed to have lost control of her completely. She was ranting like a maniac. You shouted. "You're finished everywhere. I shall personally see to it that you're put away in a place where not even the crows can land their droppings on you. You will probably never see the light of day again. I am telling you, I did not do it," Matilda screamed. "I've never seen a creature like that in my life." "You have put a crocodile in my drinking water," the Trunchbull yelled back. "There's no worse crime in the world against it." "Nothing that crime like that." "But I'm telling you," Matilda shouted, refusing to sit down. "I am telling you to shut up," the Trunchbull roared. "If you don't shut up at once and sit down, I shall remove my belt and let you have it with the end that has the buckle." Slowly Matilda sat down. Oh, the rottenness of it all, the unfairness. How dare they expel her for something she hadn't done? Matilda felt herself getting angrier and angrier and angrier, so unbearably angry that something was behind to explode inside her very soon. The new was still squirming in the tall glass, and it was not big enough for it. Matilda glared at the glass with the newt in it. She longed to match up and grabbed the glass and tipped the contents, newt and all, over the Trunchbull's head. She trembled to think what the Trunchbull would do her if she did that. The Trunchbull was sitting behind the teacher's table, staring with a mixture of horror and fascinated at the newt wiggling in the glass. Matilda's eyes were so riveted on the glass, and now, quite slowly, there began to creep over Matilda a most extraordinary and peculiar feeling. This feeling was mostly in the eyes. A kind of electricity seemed to be gathering inside them, a sense of power sense of power. A sense of power and that. Okay? Yeah, a sense of power was spring in those eyes of hers. A feeling of great strength was settling it. And yes, itself deep inside her eyes, thing else or though altogether, and which she could not understand. It was like flashes of lightning. Little waves of lightning seemed to be flashing out of her eyes. Her eyebrows was beginning to get hot, as though vast energy was building up somewhere inside them. It was an amazing sensation. She kept her eyes steadily on the glass, and now the power was concentrating itself in one small part of each eye and growing stronger and stronger, and it felt as though millions of tiny little invisible arms with hands on them were shooting out of her eyes toward the glass she was staring at. Do you know what happened to the glass? If you wonder, please click the next video. I will take the video on next Monday. Bye!